It wouldn't be that hard to fix downtown. It wouldn't be that hard at all. But it requires cooperation. It requires cooperation among landlords, the business community, city government. And I think if you got everybody in a room and you talked about the things that are necessary to turn downtown around, I just don't think it's that hard. It just takes people who are committed and passionate.
I agree that the entire region should be worried about downtown. It should be working towards a better downtown. What are some of your ideas or thoughts or plans that you'd like to see put into effect to get the entire region to work towards a better downtown? And then just to have the city of St. Louis perhaps implement some new measures that would help?
Let's start with the city of St. Louis. You've got to have the right combination of good public policy, competent people to implement those policies, and a supportive business environment to be successful. So we've got a group called Greater St. Louis Incorporated. You may have heard something about them. It's all the big businesses in the region. And they're concerned about downtown. The problem is they're a donor-supported business organization, so they are limited in what they can do. The city of St. Louis, unfortunately, the current administration, I don't think I'm saying anything that they haven't said themselves. Downtown just isn't that big a priority. They think it's one neighborhood out of 20 some odd that they've got to deal with, and they're struggling. Public safety is an issue to some degree, more of a perception than a reality, but it's an issue. Infrastructure downtown is not in good shape. Doesn't look good. There's so many problem properties. Landlords are not managing, present company accepted, their properties very well, it creates problems. So we've proposed what we've called a 5-point safety plan that deals with problem properties. It deals with traffic lawlessness, liquor licensing, homeless, those kinds of things that really wouldn't be that hard to implement. But you've got to have a comprehensive approach to dealing with safety. That we produced that plan a couple of years ago, along with a couple of other organizations, including the Neighborhood Association and a business organization. And the city has been indifferent. They just haven't responded at all. We've produced reports on the lack of police presence. And I think somebody in City Hall heard that, and we've had a little better police presence this summer. It wouldn't be that hard to fix downtown. It wouldn't be that hard at all. But it requires cooperation. It requires cooperation among landlords, the business community, city government. And I think if you got everybody in a room and you talked about the things that are necessary to turn downtown around, I just don't think it's that hard. It just takes people who are committed and passionate about the task. Our group is, I hate to even characterize it a group. It's more like a network. We're just volunteers. We're eyes and ears. The folks that are involved in this network, they take videos that end up on the news of things that happen. We don't like to talk about the problems downtown because to some degree, it makes things worse. But we found that's the only way we can get the attention on the problems. And to some degree, we've been successful, but not successful enough, obviously. The Board of Aldermen, obviously, the intention at this point is on things like a homeless bill of rights and a renter's bill of rights and issues which, may be important, but are not really at the core of what we need to create a better city or a better downtown. It's just an ongoing, you got to put all these pieces together, and you got to have people sitting together, and you have to be able to listen to people who disagree with you sometimes. And this administration doesn't seem to be willing to do that. I shouldn't say this the last administration wasn't willing to do it either. So it's really just unfortunate and hard to understand.